G'day viewers, my name's Graham Stevenson and I'd like to invite you to come on a journey of creativity and learning and adventure through the series Colour in Your Life. There's an artist in every family throughout the world, and lots of times there's an artist deep down inside all of us as well. So grab your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your aunties, uncles and mums and dads and come and see how some of the best artists do what they do. Well, hi folks. Well, we're back in New Zealand in the beautiful area of Tairua, and I am with a fantastic artist today. She does a lot of very intuitive work, a lot of sacred geometry, a lot to do with the animals and the plants and basically her society in New Zealand. But I'd like to introduce you to Reina Cottier. Hello, darling.
Good morning. I'm good, thank you.
Fantastic to be here. As I just said, Reina is a very intuitive artist, uses a lot of sacred geometry within her work, and it's really beautiful stuff. I mean, there's a lot of feeling, a lot of meaning in what she does, and you really sort of paint from the heart in many senses, don't you?
I do.
How did this all come about?
Originally, I was a hairdresser, and I did that for many years. I owned my own salon, and I decided to sell that, and I decided to take an art class, and that sparked something inside of me. It was actually not an art class to teach you how to paint, but it was to teach you how to get in touch with what was within. And started deciding that I would paint at home as well as the art class, and before long I wasn't doing the art class, set up a studio at home and started painting, and that was about 8 years ago now. It's been amazing and I just love what I do. Yeah,
well, you live in a fantastic area. She's about 200 metres away from the beach. Really, really beautiful area. I mean, it's such a pretty place. And then even when we drive through to get around New Zealand, it's just a glorious country. But you've also, I think, really built a business around what you're doing as well. You're one of those artists, and there's probably not a lot of them around, but there are some that turn their ability into a business itself, and you've learned how to do that with a lot of your licensing, your other products. I mean, you sell limited editions, cards. When did you realise when you started your career that was going to have to be part and parcel of what you're doing?
Yeah, very early on when I realised that people were actually interested to own my work, I thought, oh, here's an opportunity, and I'd owned 3 businesses prior to becoming a professional artist, so I decided that why not give this a go and set it up as a proper business and set up the merchandise side of it and see what happened, and it's gone really well for me. It's been extremely successful. Yeah, I mean, just got huge fans, and you know, I look at Reina's social networking platforms as well, and there's a lot of people that are following you, which is really cool. But the main reason we're here today is to obviously see Reina work, and I'm going to step out of camera. You don't need to see my horrible head. And then we're going to watch her produce what she's doing. She's actually going to work on this whale today, but she's going to show you how to do the background first, working in acrylics. But I'm going to get out of the way and let you start, do what you do. Thank you, Graham.
Thank you. Okay, well, we've got a blank canvas, Reina. Where do we go from here?
Okay, so the first thing I do is I spray a little bit of water on here to get the paint a lot more fluid when it goes on. So I just lightly spray, and it doesn't have to be drenched. Yeah. And then I just use my fingers and I go like that, and I don't care that there's some dry areas on there. I actually like that because it gives me some solid, dense areas, and it gives me some watery areas. Get a wet brush. These are house painting brushes, which I absolutely love, and I use them all the time. I just make sure that these were pre-wet, and I just get some on my paint brush.
So you're using acrylics, aren't you?
I'm using acrylics, and and it's all intuitive, so I just do a swirl. Yeah. And if it doesn't feel quite wet enough, I might just add a little bit of water as I go.
And so these, I was noticing before, I actually didn't realise that Dulux produces a range of acrylic paints that there's a lot of them in varying colours too.
There is. They're amazing colour range, and I use them a lot. I'm very lucky. I have access to them, and they're amazing.
So, and this is really how you prepare a lot of your backgrounds for the work that you do.
Yes,
and you just sort of build this, and then basically the drawing goes on top. And
that's right.
There's a lot of that natural wrist action that you put into your work. It's sort of almost like the infinity
Yes. Yeah, I love that feeling of it could go on and on and on, endless. Okay, so that's it.
Beautiful. So you let that dry off, and then literally you create all of your other patterns. You just sort of layer them on there.
That's correct. So once this is dry, I'll often spray a very thin layer of matte varnish over the top of this, so when I start to draw the designs on it and start to paint on it, it doesn't actually lift it off. So now I'm going to just draw a pattern on it with chalk, and we're just going to draw a koru, which is a spiral.
But that's the Maori symbol.
That means new life, new beginnings and creation, so it's really special here in New Zealand.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So when I do this, I just play. I'm very light-hearted. I don't worry about, to me, there are no mistakes. I just go with what I feel like doing, and I'm just playing. And if I don't like something, I just get a wet rag or a wet cotton buds are my best friend. Wet cotton bud, and I just get rid of it.
But this actual shape itself is one of your best sellers.
It is, absolutely,
Yeah.
yes. So anything I do with a koru, with any kind of ocean or foresty sort of feel to it, is very popular for me.
And expat Kiwis in Australia.
Expat Kiwis in Australia, yes, it's huge.
And this is sort of where because we're moving on to the whale at some stage.
Yes.
But that's the same process that you used to put that together. But there's a piece that you did called Family Tamariki.
The tamariki,
Tamariki,
yeah, that
which
was a
is-
commission for a beautiful family, yes.
Fantastic piece. And that's the tamariki means child in
Yeah,
Maori?
children in
Okay,
Maori,
children,
yeah.
That was a great commission piece.
That was a very special piece. I really enjoyed that.
Well, we've gone as far as the outline of this one's concerned.
Yeah, I think that's enough for
It
now.
sort of gives people a
Yeah.
general idea of
Yeah.
what Reina does. But well, let's move on to the whale, and then we'll spend the rest of the day working on that whale, because it's a really cool piece, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's go and have a look at that.
Okay, so now I'm going to put some inks and acrylics into my palette. So I'm going to be using the De La Rowney white ink to do a lot of my outlining. And sometimes I water this right down, so I'll just put a concentrated amount in there first, and then I might add water to that afterwards. I'm also using the marine blue De La Rowney ink. I find with these inks you need to shake them pretty well to get the pigment through them. This is the Prussian blue. It's quite a purpley blue, and it's really beautiful for creating depth. Okay, I also use white acrylic, atelier, and that's just if I need something with a little more solidity to it. I make my own Payne's grey, so I just dip into that as I need it, but I am just going to put a little bit there. So just getting a little bit of the turquoise ink, and I just want to wet my brush. I always have a rag handy, and then I use these awesome rags from my amazing husband, who is actually a house painter and uses these at work, and they are fantastic for avoiding the good old finger marks.
Yeah, Jerry's been really supportive of you over the years, hasn't he?
He is amazing.
And so wasn't it Jerry that suggested that you get those Bogolino brushes from China?
Ah, yes, these.
Yeah.
Amazing. So, on a bit of a whim, I got these online and thought I'd just try them. And they come in lots of different sizes. I got a whole set.
Yeah.
So they go from that big one, there's about 6 of them, right down to that. And thought, yeah, I'm going to give it a go. And I got them and I started using them, and I thought, they're amazing.
Fantastic.
And I've been using them for months now. As good as the day I bought them, and not one bristle has come out. They wash up beautifully.
Wow.
And they give a beautiful smooth, when I'm painting and I want a really smooth, consistent look, that is what I find with them. They're fantastic.
That's amazing. Bogolino, I actually never heard of them before.
No, neither had I.
Yeah.
In fact, I thought, what on earth is that name? But
Yeah, it sounds
there
Italian.
you go,
but it's not.
yes. So I'm just using my rag to pull the ink around. And again, just going with it. I actually like that it's dried a little bit. When it's too wet, I can't manipulate it and do what I want with it.
And what is that rag again? Is
It's like a muslin and it's
Yeah.
stretchy.
Yeah. And it's just for painting.
Yes, he's a house painter, so
Yeah.
he uses it for wiping areas and that.
Okay.
And one day he said to me, "Would you like to try some of this?" I said, "Yeah, bring it on." And
Muslin
I've
rag.
found it the best rags I've ever used. So when I'm using the rag, I'm going with the design.
Yep. You also have been asked by Statler, in conjunction with New Zealand artists, to design a picture as well using their products. Tell me a bit more about that.
I was approached by Stadler and New Zealand Artist magazine to do a demonstration, a colouring demo, which was really, really cool, and it was something completely new for me. And it was published in the magazine along with colouring competition for Stadler. And I used the Stadler products and they were absolutely beautiful. And I so enjoyed the process that I actually started colouring in from that point. I'd never done it before and found it really amazing. So that was really, really enjoyable.
And it's amazing, but you've actually made the front cover of New Zealand Artist magazine as well, which is
Yeah,
pretty cool.
that was, thank
Yeah.
you, yes, that was a wonderful surprise
Yeah.
and it was just a real honour. Really, really thrilled and honoured to be featured, and a big 4-page spread inside too, which was awesome.
Yeah, Megan and the girls are great. I mean, we've been working with them now for a while and they really are cool people.
They're awesome.
And one of the things that makes you stand out, Raina, is your social media and marketing. You've done a really good job with that.
Thank
A lot of
you.
artists struggle with that, but I think that's part and parcel of your success as well. So, and you've got some pretty impressive numbers as well.
Thank you, yeah. I think I've got about, 11,000-ish on Facebook and maybe 30,000 on Twitter, so really well supported by amazing people that I connect with every day, and I truly love that because I'm a people person first and foremost, and that's what I enjoy.
I think artists are very unaware that it's becoming a huge part of our industry.
Social media, without it, I would not be where I am today. Because I was a mum of 2 really little girls, I decided I wasn't going to do galleries and I wasn't going to do exhibitions. I decided to just use social media and I went really hard with it. I built up all my sites. I worked nights doing it. It wasn't like I had time. I didn't have time. I had to do it when the kids were in bed. And it was amazing, the reaction I got, and I just kept plugging away at it, making sure that when people talked to me, I responded, making sure that everybody got the attention they required. Again, building those relationships, the connections, so important, and people deserve that. One thing that I will often do with these dolphins, whales, tuis and birds is I put the eye in very early because I find that gives it a personality and it brings a certain energy into the painting. So the eye kind of brings that personality into it.
Yes, the eye talks to you, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to use some acrylic markers, which are one of my favourite things to use at the moment. Star acrylic painters, they're awesome, and I often use them for my fine detailing as long as I don't want that fine detailing to be extra fine, because these markers have a little bit of width on them but it's not too fat. So I've got a light blue and a mid blue here, and I'm just going to come through this middle panel and I'm going to, where I've already done some detailing, I'm just going to highlight some pieces and define some others. So I'm just going to come down and highlight the tip of these, and I'm going to use my finger to go like that and to just blend it in. I'm just also going to grab a cotton bud, and that just stops that really hard line from forming from where you've put the highlight.
You've actually done some really great pieces as far as the cetaceans are concerned.
Thank you, Graham.
Yeah, they're quite beautiful.
Yeah, my dolphin and my whale have been 2 of my most popular prints, merchandise-wise actually. I think a lot of people relate to them on quite a deep level.
Well, in a number of your paintings, I think probably the best known flax plant in New Zealand that the Maoris used a great deal was the harakiki. And they've got a picture called the tribal moon. So is that a representation of what the harakiki means to those people?
Yeah, I just often when you're in an outdoor setting in New Zealand, you are near bush or you're at the beach, and the flax plays a massive part. It's everywhere, and whenever I've looked at the full moon, I've always noticed that there's giant flax around, and I find it really beautiful. I love the way it folds and moves and twists, and I find it quite inspiring to paint.
That's fantastic. And another thing that I think most people wouldn't know across the world is that you had two animals that were introduced here many years ago. One was the Australian possum.
Yes, thank you very much.
Which is in plague proportions. It's like the it's like the cane toad in Australia.
Yeah.
And the other one is the peacock.
Yes.
And you've got a picture called Carnival,
Yeah.
which is exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But it's probably the most colourful peacock painting I've ever seen in my life.
That, interestingly enough, was commissioned by a really lovely friend of mine. And she asked for those colours. I think they're a stunning combination of colours. I love it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'd never painted anything with quite that vibrancy before.
Actually, I've done another painting as well, which was similar. It's got a lot of the symbolism on the back of it. It's just called Whale, but it's a whale's tail.
Oh,
Going
yes.
down to the water. That's pretty cool.
I've done a whole series of whale tails and I just really enjoy them. They're actually quite, I love the simplicity of it. It's just a beautiful shape and it's not the whole creature, and it's very conducive to all my spirals and corus and swirls and twirls and everything that I love to do with my design work. Okay, so my tail's looking really good, but I now need some depth in here, so I'm going to go down a notch. Not going to use Payne's Grey now, I'm going to go to Prussian Blue, and I'm just going to come in here and define this out a little bit more. Seems fiddly, but when you get on a roll, and normally I have music blasting, which I love, it's like a meditation.
Yeah.
You just get on a roll of doing these lines and the shapes, it's something extremely meditational about it.
Very true. It's very true. That's one thing I've heard a great deal from people that come in to see colour in your life, that they've started to paint and it's really changed. You know, if they've got stress or there's some hardships in their life.
It's changed that for them.
Yeah, it really helps them out a great deal.
That's fantastic.
I mean, that's why I'd like the show to go across the world.
Yes.
You know, if everybody could sit down and, you know, you don't have to be selling your work, but if you just sit down and doodle and get things out of your head.
Oh, totally. Even colouring, the latest, you know, well, it's not the latest craze now, it's been going for well over a year, but colouring is so therapeutic. Take you out of your right brain and just get you into that no man's land. So good for you.
So there's another piece that you've done, which I think it's a little bit more abstract in comparison to some of the pieces that we've seen today, but it's one called Inner Goddess.
So I did a whole series of mixed media pieces, and the Inner Goddess was one of the first mixed media pieces I did. And I so enjoyed it, because there's so much concentration and discipline required with this fine detailing and just being really close. But when I do the mixed media, I literally just completely let go, and it's really freeing.
And it looks like you may have used templates.
I have,
yeah.
Yep. And I use enamel spray paints, I use inks, acrylics, powders. I just use anything I want, really. I'm not really interested in rules. A lot of, oh, you can't use this and you can't use that. Okay, I'm just going to give it a go.
And one of your, probably your best selling, or one of them, is the picture of the tui.
Yes, my tui is very, very popular. We have a site here called Trade Me, which is equivalent to eBay, and I sell heaps of those.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to get in touch with you personally, what's your website address?
ReinaCottier.com, so ReinaCottier.com.
You've also designed your artwork onto surfboards, wood products, furniture. You've even put it onto plastic mannequins and glass. It's sort of like you're insatiable, aren't you?
I bought 20 plastic mannequins at an auction, and I grab them every now and then, and I just so enjoy painting on them. But difficult on curves, but challenging and interesting. And
your mum was a great influence with you as you went along as well.
My mother was a huge influence. She was what I call uber creative. She was into porcelain dolls, miniatures. She was a wardrobe mistress for a theatre, and our house was just constantly filled with her craft. And I mean filled. It was like an obstacle course from the front door to the back door, but that's just how life was for us. It was fun.
Yeah, and you've obviously been involved in the creative side of life since you're a little girl.
Yes.
And you've also got a childhood friend called Deanna Muir, and you young
That's
girls
right.
made a pact with each other when you were young to actually write a book.
To write a book.
You actually were able to put that book together with her last year called Dreamcatcher.
That's right, we did. It was a collaboration. The concept was a collaboration, and she wrote it and provided the photography, and I provided the illustration, the paintings.
That's fantastic. And you've actually got a lot of your own art books out as well. You've got colouring in books.
Oh, colouring books, yes. Yeah.
That's for adults and for kids also.
That's right.
And they're really popular, aren't they?
They are really popular.
Yeah.
I did book 1 and book 2, and then I combined them, and that became book 3. So book 1 and book 2 are now obsolete.
Okay, Raina, well, you've done an absolutely magnificent job today. And because of the beauty of the incredible skills of Sophia Stacey, you can see the finished piece, which looks quite amazing. But I just wanted to thank you for letting myself and all of the other Colour in Your Life fans come into your studio and see what you do.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Soph.
Okay, another great day in the beautiful area of Tairua.
Well done.
Did I get that
well
right?
Well done. Good man.
Thanks for having us, Raina. It's been a fantastic day. Before we go, also we wanted to talk about the fact that you have an unbelievably successful social networking system as well. And you're also doing, which I think is amazing, it's still really the trend these days, doing workshops online on YouTube and using your other social networking platforms to do that. So that's a pretty amazing thing these days, is that instead of maybe 3 or 4 people coming along to do a workshop, you can literally do workshops with people all over the world. So Raina is actually doing that in her YouTube site also. And if you want, so your Facebook details are?
Facebook search is Reina Cottier Art, www.facebook.com/Reina Cottier Art.
She knows that one, absolutely. And apart from that, you also have a great website where people can come and see you, and your website address is?
www.reinacottier.com.
And also I wanted to thank New Zealand Artist Magazine, and funnily enough, there happens to be a young lady actually on the front of the New Zealand Artist Magazine while we're here, which is very, very, very cool. So just wanted to thank those guys. They do a fantastic job, and obviously working with really talented people like Raina. I think that's quite amazing. We're going to head off. We're heading south. Beautiful country. People are amazing over here. We have such a fun time when we're here. Come and see us at colorinyourlife.com.au. We also have a little bit to do with social networking, as you know. So come and see us at YouTube and also on Facebook. But till we meet you guys again, remember, as we always say, make sure you put some colour in your life, and we'll see you again, guys. Bye now. Bye.